capacity of around 41,000. It is in the Tel Aviv area, the second city in this country. It is the only ground that really is capable of staging a match of this magnitude. Well, one hopes that everyone who planned to be here has made it. There was that general strike in Israel earlier in the week, which threatened the travel plans of many. It was called off just in time. We are 2 hours ahead of the GMT here, and the clocks do not go forward in Israel tonight. That happens next week. It's quite a sight. They've been getting ready for this fixture here really since the draw was made. The thrill of seeing the Premiership stars that they follow avidly via their own domestic television. So we're now expecting the national anthems. The Israeli anthem to be sung here by Ninette Taib. Well, Steve McLaren has made a call for action. It is a time of reckoning for England, and it's coming up live right after the break.
It's England's European Championship qualifier in Israel. And apologies once again if you are a high-definition viewer or you're expecting interactive facilities tonight. We don't have that available to us because, as Martin said, we are in the hands of the host broadcaster. Commentators here, former England captain David Platt, alongside Martin Tyler.
John Terry, one of a number of England players back who missed the Spain match last month. The Israeli goalkeeper Awat plays in Spain. Most of their side are home-based. And one thing England have got here is a very good playing surface. Pretty good weather for the match as well. There's Toto Tamuz, who's a very intriguing character with certain English connections. His father, who is estranged from now, has been brought up by an adopted mother. He's an Israeli, speaks Hebrew. He's of Nigerian extraction. He's here on a temporary residence basis. He's not a proper Israeli citizen, but he is a lively young forward. He's already troubled England and got this free kick. Well, England's marking being tested out maybe straight away by Benayoun. Out comes Robinson and makes a safe claim. It's fair to say that if England expects, Israel hopes. Their record, particularly in playing a whole World Cup qualifying group, they didn't get to the finals, but they were undefeated in their entire campaign. 4 wins and 6 draws. It wasn't enough, but it tells you something certainly England need to know about the measure of resilience that they could face here. Neville has got a painful one here. A challenge by Balili. England have got a free kick. And Clements has been working with the goalkeepers, of course, as usual. Good to see him healthy and still very much a contributor to the England cause. It's by Ben Shushan, who started on the right. Trying to get through the middle. Benayoun backing up from midfield. Tamuz coming from the left, and it's Toto Tamuz. And it's Israel on the front foot in the opening moments here in Tel Aviv.
Well, we've only been playing for a couple of minutes, Martin, and already Tamuz has created problems. Got the free kick. Should have done better. Should have hit the target there. It's just a mistake in there by Phil Neville that gets him in. Fortunately for England, he's blazed it wide.
Who's going back to win it again, strongly from Steven Gerrard. And Balili wins a corner out of John Terry. They've been experimenting with their lineup all week in front of the media under the coach Dror Kashtan. Players are secure of their spot, like the number 10, Badir. A few places up for grabs on the attacking side of the team. Shushan's got one, he plays it back to the corner taker. Here's Wayne Rooney having to collect it very deep and try and get England into some sort of early rhythm here, but they're not getting it. Johnson loses out, and Benayoun takes them on. Well, this will test what's perceived as a bit of a lack of confidence in the England camp. Maybe Steve McLaren's been talking about a lack of a real attitude as well. He's had a go at some of the better-known players at the start of the week, spelled out a few home truths, and he's hoping to get the right kind of response here. But at the moment, England are struggling to get out of their own penalty area. to Tamuz. Finally cleared by Phil Neville.
Steve McLaren was talking, Martin, about getting out on the front foot, starting in the correct manner. You can see here, Benayoun does well to get there. This is the mistake he makes, I think, trying to come back inside. I think he should have pulled the trigger on his left foot. I'm just going back to that point, talking about getting out on the front foot. That doesn't always happen. You've got to weather the first 10 or 15 minutes. Obviously, Israel will be up for the game as well. It's important they don't let them in. Make sure that we're still nice and cemented at the back. Don't let Israel get up any head of steam whatsoever.
Ziv taking the throw, the left back. And here's Frank Lampard trying to get Andy Johnson off and running. Johnson gets a free kick from the Norwegian referee, an increasingly recognisable figure on the international circuit with about as much hair as Johnson, Tom Henning of Rebo. Pulling out. Rooney, Ferdinand, and Tony Carragher making a late run. He gets his head to it. The goalkeeper has to take it off John Terry's head, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. Carragher. Once again against Shushan, who's only 21. Isn't a regular in his club team. Star of the under-21 Israeli setup there into that European finals that England have made. Age group which we played in Holland, and you'll see live on Sky Sports in June. Bernardo. Benayoun finding some freedom. Really pulling away, and then finding the ball comes to him, and we didn't expect to it. To name a corner out of that. England were rather let off. They allowed Benayoun some space. Lampard coming to collect. This is what Croatia did pretty successfully, David, here. They slowed the game down and used the extra quality to pass the ball around Israel. That 4-3 win, which was Croatia's follow-up and a successful one to their 2-0 win in Zagreb over England in October.
Yeah, I think England have got to do that. Wrestle some kind of domination in the first 10-15 minutes, quieten the crowd, quieten the Israeli players, and then use that quality like you were talking about. See here, though, the defensive block. Look at all the Israeli players, all in their own half. They're very difficult. Glenn was talking at the top of the programme, how do we break them down?
Terry. Ferdinand. Gerrard coming to collect. John Terry and Frank Lampard played in Israel before with Chelsea, and eventually knocked out by their opponents from the Israeli League, Hapoel Tel Aviv of the UEFA Cup. That by Shimon Gershon. The central defenders that Johnson will be trying to get the better of here. He's got a chance to take a touch on Philip Neville's cross. Just cover on that far side. Spalili was taking it on. Tamuz was lurking dangerously. Benayoun, who's the captain of Israel these days. Oh, Aaron Lennon offers a lot of thrust, and in the end, it wasn't the cutback on his left side that maybe he was hoping for, and he apologises for it, but there was potential in the run.
Well, you can see the pace of Aaron Lennon, can't you? Unfortunately, it's not matched. It's not his strongest foot. He's playing on that left-hand side.
sure the England players absolutely delighted to get back into competitive action. 5 months since that disaster in Zagreb. Lennon. Lampard was caught by Bernardo, the most capped Israeli player of all time.
It's a certain booking, isn't it?
That's a yellow card, yeah. He's a central defender, really. It's his 91st international and only the second that he's played in midfield. He's obviously got a holding job there alongside Badir. The tackling job, though, he'll have to do it better than that.
Certainly a bit naughty.
Terry. Carragher. Wayne Bridge, of course, out of the equation for Steve McLaren as well. The usual stand-in for Ashley Cole. Wayne's not fit. Owen Hargreaves is this piece of play, which sees Gerrard looking to the right to Phil Neville, who's probably got more licence to go forward from right back, with Gerrard straying from the wide right midfield position inside. Jamie Carragher will do on the left. He can just give it to Lennon and do the running. Taken out by Gershon. Carragher's there. Phil Neville can't get this one. Good substitutes. Michael Carrick just sort of not summing up the evening, nail-biting. Hasn't quite got to that, even though Israel started well. Hargreaves. Michael Richards, incidentally, passed the fitness test, and he is amongst the England substitutes as well. Having not trained much in the build-up to this game. Johnson. Now Carragher. It is a surface on which England can play the ball around here with the sureness of touch. It goes long from Ferdinand. There isn't the height, of course, of Crouch as an option tonight. Gerrard. Defending by Ziv. To make a bit of ground, but then not coming up with a pass. Running the ball into trouble. Been chopping and changing their left backs. Israel, indeed, the back line, apart from Ben Haim, conceded 4 goals to Croatia, has been totally dismantled. Johnson. A bit of help, England get the throw. I guess he's the nearest thing to a fit Michael Owen that Steve McLaren has at his disposal at the moment. Andy Johnson. Big night, of course, for the Neville family, with Phil making the Nevilles equal the Charlton brothers in England appearances. Yellow card for Jamie Carragher. Coming across and bringing Balili down.
Well, you'll take that foul, Martin, to be perfectly honest with you, because Balili and Tammuz were up there, and if Jamie Carragher hadn't have brought him down, then I think England might have had a spot of bother.
Tammuz goes down, but he wasn't fouled from behind. And Haim pulls off Johnson. And that it's Johnson after the traumas that Bolton, his club, have had against Wayne Rooney. Scored 3 at the Reebok earlier in the season, and 2 recently at Old Trafford against Ben Haim and his men. Ziv. Tammuz. This is Balili. On back by Toto Tammuz. And now it's Lennon. Lampard. Test really is for England to show the sort of teamwork that Steve McLaren is wanting. To really work as a collection of the highly talented individuals. Badir. I'll look to get it to Benayoun as often as possible, and England surely have been briefed about that. Carragher. Rooney making a run. He's the furthest forward at the moment. It's good defending by Benayoun against Rooney that time. In goes Terry. Bernardo. Again, they give it to Yossi Benayoun, and he switches it on to Tammuz. Bernardo. Schmunging, the 19-year-old right back, who only won his first cap in February against the Ukraine. He's out of position. And Bernardo blocking off Lennon there, and he's the player who was booked. He was taking a real chance with the referee. That piece of obstruction.
I think he's fortunate, Martin. I think he's very, very fortunate because it was so blatant.
Well, England didn't make a fuss about it, which was maybe a little bit of a surprise. Lampard. Ferdinand. Cross taking a big deflection. England have a corner. Taken short. Gerrard's unmarked. Break on here, Bernardo. Hargreaves won it fairly, and suddenly Israel, who thought they were streaming out, have to turn back. Rooney crosses. See if with a header, Gerrard might get hold of this. Back to Neville. We can start again. Some control play from the back. Carragher doing that job of giving it to Aaron Lennon. It's the better of Schmungin. Header came from Wayne Rooney.
This is a much better ball from Lennon in with his left foot. Rooney gets the header. It's not powerful enough in the end. You can see it just sits it up for Wayne Rooney. He just needs to be coming in rather than a standing jump for it, to be honest with you. He's not the greatest in the air, Wayne Rooney.
Terry. There's a lot of talk in the England camp about using their speed on the counter-attack. Well, they can use Rooney from Johnson's touch here. We saw the goalkeeper starting to come off his line. Well, at the moment, England, after that the troubled opening couple of minutes, crossing the possession.
There we are, we've settled down nicely, and that was our best little bit of play there. Quick, incisive passing, going forward. I think that's what we've got to do. The Israelis will let us keep the ball in front of them all day long. And they'll try and break the banks that they've got, the bank of the forward midfield, get it into Rooney and Johnson, get it into the feet. And support them from Lennon, Gerrard, Lampard getting forward. Well, I think they'll be reasonably pleased, to be honest with you, with the way that the first 18-20 minutes have gone.
A bit slow to recover here. Kenny Balili. Certainly his foul. Really looking at the ball. Jamie Carragher's up on his feet and ready to continue. Balili has just got this position as the main striker for Israel ahead of that 17-year-old protege from Chelsea, Ben Saha, who actually made his international debut in the last game. Kashtan On the left there, just leaning against the frame of the dugout. It's a double header for Steve McLaren's England. And Andorra, the match will be played in Barcelona, in the Olympic Stadium in that city in Spain. You can see it on Sky Sports 1 and HD 1 on Wednesday from 7. Long kicks by Paul Robinson that brought him a goal in the Premiership.
I don't think he's over it that too much, to be honest with you, Martin. I expected people to be trying to chase that down.
Sorry to cross you, David, but there is Ben Saha, who, of course, is a club colleague of John Terry's and may well be a forward facing John Terry in the European qualifier later this evening here. There's a chance that they'll bring him on from the bench. Here and Ziv. Hargreaves. Followed quickly by Philip Neville. Defending reasonably deep, Israel, which will not give Johnson so much room to run in behind. Well, they were struggling to get the ball in the first couple of minutes, England. Now they're controlling side of the game. It's Israel that are playing on the break, they're trying to do so. Terry, who's played it and kept on running, the central defender. Johnson, Gerrard, Lampard, lovely football from England, and a very good piece of goalkeeping by Awat.
It's a brilliant ball from Steven Gerrard. Sees Frank Lampard making the third man running. Frank just can't get it out of his feet. Just needs to toe poke that. I think he was a little bit surprised at how quick it came to him from Steven Gerrard, to be honest with you. Terrific little bit of movement from the two players there. You see Frank very disappointed. Needs to get it out of his feet. Not able to, and the keeper does well.
John Terry's still in the thick of things, having been the architect of the move originally. Sort of run that he learnt in his West Ham days, Frank Lampard. Terry Venables alongside him would have appreciated that, and it's a little moment to remember for those who say that Gerrard and Lampard can't work together. White has made a pretty quick recovery. And Ashton, the coach, pretty difficult relationship with his own media here, but it seems to be half the course with the international coaches. Actually win every game. Ferdinand. Lampard. On for the long ball that Ferdinand was shaping up for, so he went through Hargreaves and Lampard. Here's Carragher. Can't give it to Lennon this time. Neville trying to get forward from right back to Moose. Once so young has tracked him responsibly. It's good play by Ferdinand under some pressure. And Tammuz again. Neville's been challenged pretty brutally a couple of times. But it's a free kick. I don't think that was quite where the foul was committed. Had the possession at this point. Let's see whether there's some penetration here as Carragher goes in on the deep free kick from from Lampard. Party have been warmly welcomed by all connected with football here in Israel. A nation where the actual football association is older than the country itself, some 20 years. Ben Haim. Shushan hasn't seen too much of the ball as yet, which is compliment to England. He's got a couple of international goals already. This is only his 7th cap, the number 7. That equaliser in Russia. Confirmed a very good result for Israel in the context of the group. Ferdinand knows his country very well. He takes a lot of holidays here. His agent is an Israeli. Carrigan. And Lampard coming to collect. Gerrard now making a dart forward, and Lampard looks for him. Just returning the compliment after that fine piece of play between the two a couple of minutes ago.
It's a good ball in again by Frank Lampard, just a little bit too over it. Really, just looking at this, England keeping the ball, dominating possession. Best chance we had was with Frank Lampard, but Andy Johnson really does have to look on the back shoulder of the centre halves, I think, and not come towards the ball.
Lennon. Lampard again. Good movement from England around him too. Gerrard. Rooney trying to flick it back. Johnson might get there first, and Ben Haim made sure that he didn't, and must have close to catching the referee's eye in that respect.
Yeah, it's a good little play. Keeper's been out once or twice, very, very sharp, done well.
Carragher going in, just a little untidily. Short free kick from Bernardo. Cross from Badir to Ziv. Benayoun, Tammuz, who can turn and may hit one here. Robinson has a shot on target to deal with from the 18-year-old Toto Tammuz.
There's Benayoun, he's come inside Tammuz. He shouldn't be getting that kind of room, to be perfectly honest with you. Somebody should be picking him up, not letting him turn. A comfortable save for Paul Robinson in the end.
Tammuz's father was an international footballer with Nigeria, Claude Temile. Hargreaves almost gave it away to Balili. Carragher. Hargreaves. Ferdinand coming forward. This is where England just got to be careful. They're tempted to attack in real numbers. Israel, a glimmer on the break. And Shushan. In the end, ran down a blind alley. Crisp tackle by Ronaldo, the veteran, on Lennon, the England youngster. And Shushan, Alili. Swung in on the attack from right back. And Shushan. Tammuz! Well, it was a semblance of a chance for Israel.
Well, it's too good a chance. Shouldn't be able to get an header. He's not the tallest, but comes in between players. And I think we're fortunate there. Better executioner of an headed football. And I think with a free header getting in between Rio Ferdinand and John Terry can cause Paul Robinson a problem there. Terrific ball in. Good leap and a poor header. Israel, Tamuz especially, has just had a couple of opportunities in the last 5 minutes. Important now that England just wrestle that control back that they've had for the first 20 minutes and don't get carried away.
It's given hope to the Israeli fans, many of whom bought tickets for all the home games in a group season ticket package, if you like, just to see this game. Carragher. Here's Rooney coming to collect it, and now coming onto the play as he loves to do. Give and go with Lampard that didn't come off. It's Tamuz on the prowl again. Gerrard. Rooney, Naeem's tackle, he got a piece of the ball, Rooney knew that, he's chasing back. Yeah, sometimes he does that. Just a slight loss of self-control. But here, he's pretty experienced. Got his body across Wayne Rooney.
I think that's what he's used his experience. We could see it there, Rooney chasing. You just wondered what was going to happen, whether he was going to fly into the tackle, and I don't think he did in that instance, and the referee recognised that.
Badir was at Wimbledon the season they were relegated from the Premiership. Played around 20 games, did score a goal at Old Trafford. Zev. Told to get up by the Norwegian referee. His fifth international appearance. All have come this season. Rooney. But it might run for Johnson here. Lennon played a part in that. And, Johnson was looking to line it up for Aaron Lennon. Neville's first time cross. Johnson again. Again, like Rooney a few minutes ago. He's sensing a goalkeeper who likes to come off his line a little bit. The chip was nowhere near fooling Dudu Awat. Well, past the half-hour mark. And it's Israel 0, England 0. Again, our apologies if your enjoyment of watching the game has been affected by some technical problems. We apologise on behalf of the host broadcaster here in Israel. Steered off by Rooney. Lennon. This is what he's in the side to do. Certainly carried the ball some distance. Goalkeeper comes out and it drops for Gerrard. Right man for England, maybe. From that sort of range. Here's the Liverpool skipper again. Hargreaves. Now Carragher. Lennon. That's going to veer away harmlessly from Lennon's cross. Curl on the ball this time with the right foot, taking it away from those he was looking to find. It dropped invitingly, David, for Steven Gerrard.
It certainly did. Just as Lennon's causing all sorts of problems with his pace down the left-hand side. He cuts back. This is one of the problems. He's cutting back on his right foot, gets headed out, and it's in a magnificent block in the end by Telban Naeem. He recognises the danger coming from Steven Gerrard, recognises by knowing him from the Premiership that he can score from that distance.
This is Benayoun. Chased here by Balili. Bernardo. It's comfortable for Robinson. Pleased to be back in the team. Ben Foster was given a chance, of course, against Spain in the friendly last month, and impressed. Foster is the backup goalkeeper on the England bench tonight. Hargreaves. The lively Aaron Lennon. On Hargreaves. Interesting that the 4 internationals that he's missed in a row, England have won none. Lampard. Johnson left a couple of players down. Deschamps and Badir, if he can stop the play. Terry. He came a certain distance, then thought better of it. Crossed by Neville. Badir's given it away. Here's Hargreaves. Now Lampard. Again, Badir using his body to draw the foul. Ferdinand is the one member of this England team who's on 1 yellow card. Was booked in Croatia, so if he was to pick up another one tonight, he would miss the game away to Andorra on Wednesday. Carragher has been booked here, of course.
One player for England, Martin, in this first 35 minutes that Israel can't handle is Aaron Lennon with the pace. And I just wonder, Jamie touched on it at the top of the programme, I just wonder whether Steve McLaren wouldn't think about just swapping Steven Gerrard and Aaron Lennon just for a few minutes in this first half, just to see how it would go.
Neville. Hargreaves. Here is Lennon again, seeing plenty of the ball. And Carragher storming on. He's got a corner. And Israel were a millimetre or two of mistiming a tackle on Jamie Carragher in their own penalty area then. Lampard takes it. To be fought for, and Carragher was in there doing just that.
It's good movement by Jamie Carragher, spins off round the back, comes in it, gets a jump on it, and gets a good clean header at it. Unfortunately for him, it's straight at the keeper.
Neville. Carragher. Lampard. To slide it through for Johnson, who was on the move cleverly again. Well, England playing well enough to deserve a lead here, but hasn't yet materialised. I think just a couple of flashes, particularly from Toto Tamuz right at the start of the game, and that header more in the middle of this first half. Hargreaves. It's Rooney on the run. It's played by Ben Haim off Wayne Rooney, goal kick.
Yeah, I think I'd concur with that agreement, with that, Martin, that England are in control. Probably could, be disappointed, I think, that they haven't got a goal in front. They haven't really created a great deal. Lampard chance. I think that'll be the message from Steve McLaren at half-time. Let's just step it up a little bit. Keep the possession, keep the domination, but just step it up a little bit and go at them, go at their throats a little bit.
Terry. Gerrard again straying in from the right-hand side. Dalili to feed off only meagre supply at the moment, but Benayoun gets the attacking left-back Ziv on the run. Hargreaves with that sense of responsibility that he has in abundance, reading the danger well. Gerrard wasn't there to block off the run, but Hargreaves was across. Benayoun again, and again. And here's Tammuz. Benayoun, the last-ditch tackle by Terry, but a good one. Lampard. Lennon's way again. Might have to find him via Carragher. Johnson. Johnson had a couple of chances with England when he was a Crystal Palace player in that excellent season he had in the Premiership before Palace went down. So it was the second phase, his Everton phase, with his country now. Carragher. Lennon. Deep enough for Rooney. Dalili having no joy trying to hold the ball up, give Israel some sort of platform to get at England here. Gerrard. Johnson. Very well to stay on his feet and keep the ball. Would have got a free kick, I think, had he gone down. They're wanting more than that. They've had some flow to their football here. Against the side that are quite happy to get men behind the ball at home. Recognise their lower status in international football's pecking order. Benayoun. Really taken over the mantle held for many years here by Eyal Berkovic. He's retired. He was honoured earlier this evening in the match ceremony. Gerrard. Rooney. Backed up here by Lennon. Defender from the back line coming out to make the challenge. It was Gershon that time, but Lennon's gone and seized possession back for England. Gerrard. Hargreaves again. Now Terry. Israel retreat again. Carragher. It's been a failing for England really throughout 2006, in the disappointing World Cup campaign. They didn't keep possession well enough. Can't be too many complaints about that against opponents that in truth haven't been over-ambitious. It's just now finding the cutting edge to go with the control in other parts of the contest. Just jogging across to look at his Liverpool colleague. Click on the throw, which he does. This is Rooney. Back to Hargreaves.
Talking, Martin, about how England haven't got the cutting edge, really. They've kept possession. I think they've dominated the game in many aspects. Israel have had one or two efforts, but it's always been on the break, really. But for me, the biggest thing here I'd like to see is Andy Johnson just sacrificing himself, not trying to get involved in the set-up play too much. Just look on the back shoulder of people, because we've got enough creative players in there. Gerrard coming in there, Lennon, Rooney obviously, Lampard to pick the space up.
Steve McLaren's down at touchline level as this free kick has been awarded against Rio Ferdinand, with a few seconds plus added time to go to half-time. Ben Haim switched off here. Sprung in. And that's the danger. You can have the possession and feel in control. International football taken from you, a parity which England are approaching at half-time. They could have gone in a goal down from that slack piece of play.
Well, it was poor play. Martin won it from the set piece. Nobody saw Spungen on the right-hand side. He was free. Fortunately enough, the ball in wasn't great.
Terry. Ferdinand. Gerrard. And lots of this type of play. Rooney. When the ball's got up into that attacking third, maybe given the amount of ball that England have had, possibly Steve McLaren might feel that there haven't been enough clear-cut chances. Gerrard. Ferdinand. Referee's had a look at his watch. There is the half-time whistle. Well, England have worked the opposition around here, not really landing a knockout blow. Lampard perhaps came closest to it. A lovely piece of play when, in the end of a multi-pass move, Gerrard put him in, but the goalkeeper took the ball off his feet. Steve McLaren will feel that his men are addressing the task here. They haven't broken through at half-time in the Ramat Gan Stadium here in Israel. It's Israel 0, England 0.
Glenn Hoddle and Jamie Redknapp are with us. Their thoughts when we come back. No air guitar from Glenn Hoddle today. Goalless here at the Ramat Gan. But England will feel maybe they should be in front. That's a bit naughty, isn't it? We're at the Ramat Gan tonight with Israel and England. No goals so far. But don't forget, we have a full international goals roundup coming up at 9 o'clock this evening with Claire Tomlinson on Sky Sports 1. And looking further ahead, Wednesday we've got England's game in Andorra at 7 on Sky Sports 1. The Republic of Ireland's match against Slovakia at 7:30 on 2. And Wales meets San Marino at an 8 o'clock start on Sky Sports 3. Very much as you were in Group E so far tonight. No goals anywhere. The match between Croatia and Macedonia about 20 minutes old now, and nothing in the game between Estonia and Russia. Glenn Hoddle and Jamie Redknapp are our guests here this evening. Just to underline the point that Glenn was making about the role or the reaction to a block. I think that's the correct way to try and phrase it, Glenn, isn't it? This is Carragher going in the book.
Yeah,
does the reaction to the foul affect matters
there
here?
There you go, watch. Half a touch, not even as much as what Lennon got. And look, he rolls over, what's that, 3, 4 times. And then it
but
just
you're not
makes a
condoning
reaction.
that.
I'm not condoning that at all. But look, if you get hit like this, Richard, and you're going at full pelt, you're entitled to go on the floor. He's knocked him right out off balance, and you make it into a foul. It's a foul anyway.
There was a difference actually, because Jamie's genuinely tried to win the ball. That guy's just tried to stop our attack, and that's a real difference. So how can you say Jamie Carragher gets booked and he doesn't? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Just a quick thought, would you put Lennon right side? Something was mentioned
I think
earlier.
Lennon's been doing really well. The problem we've got at the moment, we're a bit unbalanced. Everything that's been good about England has come from the left-hand side. We've got to balance it with a little bit of few attacks on the right-hand side. So maybe after 10 minutes, the left back looks a bit fragile to me, Jamie, as well. Defensively, he looks a bit fragile.
The reason why I might want to play Stevie Gerrard that side is because Tamuz, who's the big, strong guy, the left-sided player for Israel, so you might want to keep Stevie Gerrard there just to keep an eye on him.
OK, let's rejoin our match commentators, David Platt and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. No changes at half-time. But another 45 minutes without an England goal. It's just one in the last 4.5 internationals. Quiet in this Israel support, many of whom, you can see those blue shirts there, they've got number 12 on the back. Trying to be collectively an extra man. They've seen their team in the blue national strip to chase England a bit so far. Chase Lennon has just squeezed the pass there and avoided another potential foul. Carragher sweeps it forward. John Terry's comes striding up. Look for the long throw here. He's making a nuisance of himself, and it's a corner. Get in there. Terry actually twisted an ankle, might have been challenged, just limping a little bit. Here comes the corner in any case from Lampard, headed out by Tammuz. Hargreaves again in that position where he's able to read the play so shrewdly. He dispossessed Balili. Early signs here in the second half as shape up as the first, and trying to add more to their recipe with a goal.
I think, Martin, when they came here, they talked about the atmosphere, they talked about the Israelis being a decent side, especially in their own patch, and how you walk away from this game and you've got a point, and you might be happy about it, even though you're in search of the three. I think the way that the game's gone in the first 45, I think England will be disappointed if they leave here with only a point tonight, because the game's definitely there for the winning.
Hargreaves helping out Ferdinand. Gerrard to give Johnson something to chase. Covered by Gershon. There again. Shimon Gershon actually has another career apart from football. He's in a pop group with his brother and his wife, who's a famous lady in Israel, a model. One or two of his club fans have been saying, hang on a minute, what about the football? Steve round there with Steve McLaren. England backroom staff. Solid in defence against Ben Shushan. He's not really got that much time against Johnson. Israel have been real nomads of world football, finally arriving as a European nation, European as far as football is concerned. We do feel we're out here in the Middle East, though. They've had spells trying to qualify for tournaments via Asia, Africa, South America, and even Oceania. They're an obstacle to England at the moment for Kashtan's team. Ferdinand's header. Taken on by Ziv. Field would like to get forward more, but they haven't had the possession to justify that. Gerrard with the free kick for England. Didn't get to Lennon by the direct route, but given away by Spungin. Hargreaves. Touch from Rooney. Now Lennon. So how he can go from here, really, that's going to maybe determine the final outcome this evening. Carragher. Johnson. Rooney might be first to this, beaten to it spectacularly by Ziv, diving in. Back with Ferdinand. Gerrard holding the shape on the right-hand side this time. Neville. And the challenge is a shrewd header from Lampard. Phil Neville, Johnson. Ends up on the deck, but a dismissive wave from the Norwegian referee. Vrebo. Supported by Rooney here. Possibilities for England and Rooney. Well blocked by Gershon. Once more, Benayoun. He's in possession. Sense greater Israeli optimism. Tamuz. In a hurry to get rid of the ball, betraying his inexperience. Lennon. Johnson in tandem here. Lampard eagerly backing it up. Gerrard. That one wrong. Steven Gerrard.
I'm sure one of the topics at half-time was about Steven Gerrard and keeping him out on that right-hand side, holding that shape just that little bit longer, coming in field in a further advanced position than he was doing in the last 10 minutes of the first half. I just thought we'd lost our discipline and our team shape a little bit, and just in that last 10 minutes.
The players are very glad to be back to fundamentally, if you like, an English shape. The adjustments to 4-4-2 with Gerrard, with Rooney dropping off Johnson. Certainly different from the three at the back in Croatia, and indeed the three up front that they used the friendly in Holland.
I think that's right. You know, they are back in 4-4-2, but unfortunately you do. Yeah, Steven Gerrard's the player that's been asked to make the sacrifice.
Cross that doesn't trouble Terry. Johnson. Now Ziv. Anticipation by Neville. Trying to turn on the power against the Ziv, who recovered to his credit pretty well. Lampard. Gerrard. Fair one by Bernardo, who was lucky to escape a second yellow card in the first half. Benayoun. Balili. Tamuz. Showing a bit of disappointment, which is not the best reaction to his young teammate. It should be encouraging. Really could fill a whole 90 minutes commentary talking about Toto Tamuz, a young man that had a very dramatic life. By Balili, support from Spungin. Ben Shushan. Draw Kashtan, David has been saying this week he'd be very happy with a draw from Israel's point of view.
He's been saying that, and yet the team that he put out is reasonably offensive in terms of personnel, but they are very, you know, they get everybody behind the ball as soon as they can do. England, Jamie was talking about at half-time, if they are going to win the game, they've got to be incisive for the passing and quicker with it.
Badir. On from Benayoun. And Bernardo. Tamuz going in. Just guided away from him by Ferdinand. One or two signs. Israel preparing to come and maybe trade blows with England. Wrists being picked off. And equipped to counter-attack. The Lennon and the Johnson elements. Tamuz. And to Belili. Almost through to Tamuz. And who's there? Owen Hargreaves with his poor clearance from him. Benayoun. Belili! That can change in a second.
At any time in international football. He's got it covered, Paul Robinson. He knows it's going wide. Lets it go. But again, we dominate the first half, and all of a sudden, decent players like Benayoun can create things.
Gerrard. It's quite humid when England trained here yesterday, and the players took on a lot of water. It's not quite so tonight. If there is any reason for fatigue, I guess you put it down to FA Cup replays on Monday. They're on the attack here. Philip Neville. Poor piece of play by Ben Souchan. Trying to make up for it. Maybe has done just that. Belili. Taken on by Benayoun. Tamuz had to play it hard to get it to him. Too hard for his touch.
It's typical international football when you're playing against teams that aren't as strong as you. They have 10 or 15 minute spurts when the crowd gets on top of them, gets them going. They get a bit of confidence with just one shot. It doesn't matter if they have to be close like the one from Belil. Just one shot gets them that confidence. So you've got to weather that and really go and dominate again.
Carragher. Trying to get Lennon back into the match. Lampard and Rooney and Hargreaves. Rooney suddenly re-emerged onto the scene. I'm not sure where it was. Hargreaves has got it, and Lampard. Gershon tidies up, and have to strive again from a restart here. Phil Neville throw. Gerrard. Might suit England as long as they can cope with some Israeli thrust. If the home side get a bit more of the ball, get a few more players forward rather than sitting back again here, saying to Lampard and company, break us down. Hargreaves. Ferdinand. Rooney jumping in. Jamie made the point at half-time, David, about maybe passing the ball a bit quicker. Do you think in reasonably good conditions here England could do that?
I think they could do, but I mean the important thing is, you need somebody to just inject that little bit of pace into the game when you're doing that. And I think, because the England players like Rooney is coming off that little bit too deep sometimes, and you can't get frustrated with it. But I just think it's coming around to that time now. We played almost an hour, I think, where the game's there for the win. And is Steve McLaren going to make a substitution, maybe put a Defoe on for a Johnson, somebody who's very, very cute with his runs, got a goal-scoring record, just to change something here.
It's a good touch by Benayoun. Tamuz was winding up until Ferdinand got there. Badia. To Ziv. Tamuz. And Ferdinand called upon. Benayoun. Lennon. I don't think Paul Robinson will find too many divots here, like he did in Zagreb. He's kicking. Carragher. So he was caught. Definitely a growing influence in the England group under Steve McLaren of Owen Hargreaves. Leadership qualities. good spokesman at the press conferences. An independent thinker. He's on the ball here, the Bayern Munich man. Played here in a Champions League game in this stadium. Hargreaves again found by Rooney this time. Carragher, Lennon. Chance maybe to get down the outside, but it's back onto the right foot. And a cross that the goalkeeper taps down. Pressure from both Rooney and Johnson. Hargreaves has given it away. He thought Terry was going to step up. Just an exchange of view then. What went wrong? They're back in possession. Hargreaves back on the ball. Lampard. Gerrard might think about the shot. Instead goes into the pass. Rooney, he can think about the shot. And Ben Haim, it's rather better for him in an international against Rooney for his side in an international. And in the Premiership. Lampard. By Ben Haim again. This is Ferdinand. And into the last third of the game here, and England really having problems getting into the attacking third of the pitch in the second period. Lost possession in midfield again. Forward by Ferdinand. Johnson just run off his man where he can receive possession. Gerrard to whip it in, and it'll come out for Rooney, will it? Not quite. After the volley from Lampard. And some reaction here between some old foes. Rooney got into trouble in an incident a couple of years ago with Ben Haim in a Manchester United-Bolton game. There's no love lost. A yellow card for both of them. David Platt.
I think he's dealt with that magnificently, the referee. It's handbags. This is the chance of Lampard's, and he lets it go. Rooney's quite prepared and right to go for that ball, and that's what Ben Haim's complaining about. Frank just doesn't get hold of this well enough. Causes the keeper to have to make the save, but Rooney just gets the push there. I think the referee dealt with it afterwards very, very well. Nothing's thrown, no punches. Might see that again next year in the Premiership, I think, Martin.
Yes, but will Ben Haim be playing for Bolton next season? There's a lot of speculation about that. We're talking the January window, he's going to sign for Chelsea. Bernardo's just making it awkward for Carragher, has to concede the throw. And Shushan. Toulouse coming in again, Ferdinand bosses it. And again, now by Badir, who's one Israeli Arab in the starting lineup, one of two in the squad. The general population of the country, they represent 1 in 6. Lampard. Johnson behind Rooney this time. And here, a similar job for Israel as Hargreaves is doing for England. Tammuz. Ziv. Fouled by Neville, no doubt about that. There's no sign of a card.
I think for the whole 45 minutes in the first half, we dominated and we looked as though we were going to score a goal. Now the Israelis, it's a little bit even Stevens, and I wouldn't say worrying at this moment in time, but they're having a bit too much possession.
here going forward is one of the taller Israeli players who scored against Ukraine in their last international. And Johnson after a good touch from Rooney. They're almost running into each other. And, free kick. Really brandishing an imaginary yellow card at the referee to suggest that there should be one here for Ben Haim, which will of course be his second.
He never sent Bernardo off in the first half. Ben Haim was hardly going to go for that one.
Lampard. Ferdinand and Terry. Deliberate build-up from England again. Carragher. Johnson. Turned Ben Haim, got away from Spungin. Crossing towards Rooney. Gerrard is there, might ricochet England's way. Steven Gerrard's got one in the face from the ball. Hargreaves. Here's Lampard. Here's Gerrard. Go on here, but goes wide to Lennon. England have got a good few in the middle. The touch at the near post, which was by Lampard, was nearly converted by Rooney.
Frank's had two chances and he's disappointed, shaking his head in the first half with the one he missed, and shaking his head here because he knows he should hit the target. He's gone for the glance, he's gone for the right finish. He should hit the target. Lennon who just cuts inside, and Frank finds himself free in the box, but the touch is just not enough weight on it.
Well, here's some interesting news from elsewhere. Macedonia lead in Croatia. Sedlowski used to play for Sheffield Wednesday. Here's Lennon. See if half cutting it out. Lampard. Crossed by Gerrard. Johnson! It's a wonderful ball with a real bend on it. And Johnson just wondering how good a chance it was from as he saw it.
It's a great chance. Absolutely great chance. He's in between Ben Haim and Gershon. Terrific ball in from Steven Gerrard. He always puts the ball in early. Should hit the target. We're going to rue this because we've had 2 or 3 good opportunities where we've not got efforts in on goal. And we should be making at least the goalkeeper work there.
Richards doing some limbering up, and it's an even younger player with a Premiership club who's going to come on. 17-year-old Ben Sahar of Chelsea. He's made 3 briefish appearances for Jose Mourinho's team, all as a substitute. Rooney almost for Johnson. Gershon didn't really deal with it, needed some help from Ben Haim. And England have a corner here. Lampard leading the way with efforts at goal. Still waiting for his first goal for his country, and he must have been eyeing it up here.
Well, he's up slightly too early, Martin, I think. He's on his way down just as it comes, and it was never really going to bury the ref, trouble the goalkeeper, I don't think. He's on his way down when he heads it, don't get any power in it. The keeper had it covered.
It's Penny Valili who goes off, and a direct replacement, Ben Sahar, second cap. 17 years old, has a problem at 18 because you're an Israeli, you're supposed to come home and do national service. So that won't help his development as a footballer, but it is something that Israeli football has to take on board, and obviously it is a national decision, the conscription, in this part of the world of a very important nature. Doesn't help the sportsman though. It's Rooney. This is Rooney. Johnson, it's another not quite moment for England. Steve McLaren may not have heard the news that Russia have gone a goal up against Estonia. Estonia is a nation, of course, that England haven't faced yet in the group. In June they play the away game against that country, which we'll be bringing you live. Before that, we'll be going to Barcelona to see England play against Andorra. That's on Wednesday, 7 p.m, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. A definition higher up the pitch for England is required here. Hargreaves. And a lovely ball from Gerrard to Neville. Needs to pick someone out. Gershon got a piece of it. Almost trying to be a bit too deliberate, Neville.
2 or 3 good efforts, good positions in the last 5 minutes or so, but the Israelis have blocked it very well. A good one from Gershon there.
Lampard's corner in towards Terry. Made by Ziv. Hargreaves. Well, it's an interesting change for England. Micah Richards, who's shown such promise in a very much fledgling international career. Maybe a chance to be more attacking, more aggressive from right back than Philip Neville. Richards wasn't really under consideration to start the game because of an injury playing in the Premiership for Manchester City at Middlesbrough last weekend, a calf strain. He's certainly involved now. Lampard. Rooney. Gerrard set up for the shot. This is Rooney. Didn't hit it cleanly and he's frustrated with himself. Israel trying to break. He's had 1 or 2 of these moments in the match. Got England concerned defensively. Tammuz. It's a weak one from Ziv. To England's relief.
It's a change that Steve McLaren's made in bringing Micah Richards on for Phil Neville. I actually think that he should be looking at making changes further up the field to try and win this game, because I certainly think it's one that we could do. Obviously he's looking for a little bit more propensity on this right hand side from Micah Richards to get in.
Gerrard. Benahaim. Some heroic work at the back for Israel. Richards. Right again from Gerrard, just beyond Johnson this time. And Gerrard going in with his arm along his side, but making contact with the ball, handball given. Our referee, as David said earlier, has been very much in control of this match. Israel preparing to make a second change. just over 15 minutes to go. Still Israel 0, England 0. Rooney has glanced it down well. Passed away by Bernardo. Ben Haim again behind him. Here's Hargreaves. Chance for Richards to show his attacking power. Also, of course, he's mighty in the air. Before the corner can be taken, Israel want to bring on Elianiv Bada for his first cap against Toto Tamuz, who has made his first start for his adopted country. Nigeria has still been interested in bringing him into their squad, but being involved in European Championship qualifiers would rule him out of that now. Part of Hapoel Tel Aviv, 5 years old. Well, Micah Richards does bring a real force. Ball's hung up towards him. Terry, of course, as well. But Richards is the new ingredient for Steve McLaren, and he's still in there. Lampard. Nice challenge for the ball that was on the late side. Neither by Terry nor by Richards, but by Ferdinand.
One thing the Israelis have done when balls have come in the box, they've thrown themselves at it. One thing's, he was a little bit unfortunate. He's only going for the ball there, and Ben Haim got to it before him.
Well, I know there are a lot of games still in this group. It's a pretty big last 15 minutes here, you feel, from England's point of view. There's always the risk of something going wrong at the other end, even though there have only been the odd threat from Israel. But to go through another game without scoring for Steve McLaren, only be one goal in 5 consecutive internationals, not all of them, of course, in this section. And that would equal England's worst ever run over a 5-game period in 1981 under Ron Greenwood. Maybe Jermaine Defoe can change that.
I think he's the most natural goal scorer in the Premiership. It's difficult times at Tottenham. Can't necessarily start as a frontline striker. And I think he needs more than 15 minutes coming on as well. But he's the one player I think that can sniff your goal out from nothing. His movement's very good.
Zaha trying to get to this one. It's just tucked back in by Bernardo. Robinson holds it out to Gerrard. Apologies from Hargreaves. Minutes plus added time left. Benayoun. Gershon towards Ben Zaha, but it just falls easily for his club colleague John Terry. Johnson, realising there was some value in getting the ball across early. He wasn't far enough up, and it wasn't a clean connection from the Everton man. Lennon hasn't had such an impact on the second half as he did on the first. Carragher. Gerrard. Rooney. Asking for a free kick and not getting it. Benayoun. Israel might have gone into this game thinking that over 90 minutes they'd be second best, but if they could keep it to the last 10 minutes, they could have a go for the win.
Well, they could do, yeah, but I mean, they'll be delighted with the draw, won't they? To be perfectly honest with you, you know, that's what the coach had said. I think England, you know, in the cold light of day, we won't be happy about it.
So Andy Johnson goes off, still waiting for his first England goal. Jermaine Defoe got 2 against Andorra at Old Trafford in this group. For the closing chapters. Kozakov has got a second goal for Russia against Estonia tonight. As far as we know, Macedonia still leading in Croatia. Again, that tells you what a difficult section it is for all the countries with genuine ambition to qualify. And Israel would be amongst those. Ferdinand. Richards. Terry. Now Gerrard. Hargreaves. Oh, it's really played from an angle that favoured the defender. Deeper one from Gerrard, though. Couldn't really get it back with any devil. Now it's Carragher. Gerrard can attack it. Defoe trying to read where the ball might drop. Only goal in the best part of 5 games now came from Wayne Rooney in Holland. And friendly in November, the Amsterdam Arena. To say whether you're talking friendlies or competitive games, when you're talking England, that really isn't good enough. Still a chance to end the evening here on the outskirts of Tel Aviv with a smile. Get the ball past Uwat in the 10 minutes or so that remain. Saha. Barber's in the middle. There he is. Not got much support. He recognised where Ziv was. It's a decent touch in the circumstances. Badir looking for Ziv. Just seemed to lose his balance and then ended up falling on the ball. That's what the crowd were yelling for. So Steve McLaren is about to play his last card. Stuart Downing, natural left-sider for Aaron Lennon, who's played on the left side for the entire duration of his first international start. David Platt.
Well, I would have played Lennon at least for some part of this game on the right-hand side, let him use his pace to go on the outside, because one thing we haven't done really is attack with any width. Lennon's been drifting inside with the ball, very difficult when you're a right-footed player. We have actually got a natural left-footed player out there now, get the ball, get some crosses in and get people in the box. We really throw everything at Israel, because the 3 points was there for us, I think, but we're running out of time now.
Hargreaves. Gerrard. Rooney coming in. Defoe, can he get it down for himself? Goalkeeper makes another very good smothering save.
The keeper's done exceptionally well. Rooney heads it back. Defoe, this is what he's good at. Doesn't matter where the ball is, he'll get an effort on goal, and it's the keeper that makes the save. He couldn't do anything else, Jermaine.
Terry.
This is it again, sorry. Just an opportunity for Defoe. It bounces up, but the keeper's been very, very good tonight, I think.
That's the Deportivo La Coruña #1 in La Liga. Gerrard. And Downing. Able to stand it up here. Touched by Badir, then by Lampard. Hargreaves hits it into the ground, trying to keep it down. Hold out behind Richards to Benayoun. Touch of cramp. He hasn't played that much recently, and West Ham have missed him. Naeem not wanting to risk heading it back to the goalkeeper. Ziv. Naeem gives it away. It's not the break that England need. Rooney. Gerrard. Go left England to Downing, but Gerrard into Lampard, trying to get the referee to point to the penalty spot.
It's a ball in, Frank. Just gets the nutmegs. It's no penalty there.
No, it's the sort of thing that when we see from other countries, we point the finger. So I think Frank Lampard will be over-pleased with that.
Here it is again, Martin. There's no contact there. Not too sure that Frank's dived. I think he's just expected the challenge. Doesn't claim anything. We've had our chances, Martin, haven't we, in the game, but never really on a consistent basis. I've never studied it really and thought that we really look as though we've had a period where we're going to score a goal here. I just wonder the chances that the changes that have been made, the attacking ones anyhow. Downing coming on the left side, Defoe up front for Johnson. Well, they've been done early enough to give us enough time for to be able to change the game.
Well, England certainly are running out of time here. Terry. And Bernardo. Might have been very different if he got the second yellow card that he deserved before half-time. Gal Alberman coming on for Ben Chouchan. De Gershon not beaten by the diagonal ball. Richards, Gerrard, now Carragher. Downing's cross, Defoe, Richards offside, puts the ball in the net. The flag was certainly up on his first movement.
Well, I was talking about Defoe being the most natural goal scorer. I think he should have taken that first time. We don't see it there on that replay so much. It's already bounced down, but he did have the opportunity, and definitely offside, Micah Richards.
Tidy from Zaha. Gerrard. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Ziv, half away. Breaking ball from Gerrard. Benayoun back protecting his side's position here. So going in at Zaha, and I think giving him a bit of an earful afterwards. It is a free kick to Israel, over which they don't have to take their time. Ziv. Wasn't a forward ball on for him, really. Badir, he just sticks it towards the space where England have got to do a bit of retrieving, which Robinson does quickly. Carragher, who said, dropped onto the bar in the second half. Here he is again. Cross from Downing. Micah Richards. Hands out for Gerrard. Ricochet into Rooney's path. Again, Benayoun is there where his country needs him. Deep ball for Gerrard, and Ziv has missed it. A glance off the back of his head because Gerrard was clearly trying to prevent a goal kick. David, we are approaching judgmental time from you.
I just think that, Martin, you know, Croatia have come here and they've won the game. You know, is it a step forward for us? I'm not too sure it is. I think the game was there to be won. The 3 points were there. We haven't done enough for me to really go and deserve it. Solid performance, good possession, but not really enough to warrant going in and winning the game.
Well, it could still be one because it's going to be a free kick here. Into 3 added minutes. And here's a time for John Terry to leap high as the England skipper, maybe. Richards is in there as well. Ferdinand, Lampard. 3 or 4 efforts in the game. England looking for a winner in Israel. It's headed back across by Terry.
I don't understand that, Martin. We've got a left-footed player out there, Stuart Downing now, who could have bent that in and made it really, really dangerous. We didn't use it.
Comes in left-footed this time. Terry had stayed in. Another free kick England's way. Rooney put on the deck. He's going for the short one. Lampard with the shot, trying to use the pace on the ball on the half volley. Somehow needed some help. It's John Terry playing wide left in England's need here. Ronaldo just puts it out. Long throw by Downing. And the referee has given the corner. There was a little bit of debate. And this might well be the last chance. This would be the time for Steve McLaren's men, or one of them. Out comes Ouat, and a slip by Rooney, and out come Israel. In the last minute of added time, Bada. That's Ben Haim, who was sensing a historic moment. Downing. And now Ferdinand. Gerrard. And Defoe's offside. And the ball's gone into the net as well. But the flag was up. Yeah, close one.
I think it's very close. He is just off. He's got it right.
Hoping for 6 points from this trip to the Middle East and then to Barcelona to play Andorra. But they've been held in the first match. 2 more drop points in the increasingly difficult quest for qualification. This is where Croatia won, remember. Counting a couple of friendlies, it's 5 internationals without a win for Steve McLaren. Just 1 goal in 5, equaling the worst ever run in 1981. That surely will come to an end against Andorra on Wednesday. And maybe little there will end the inquest from here. England played well in the first half, had plenty of the ball, and did look a more threatening team. But in the second, it was a more even game. There was a bit of a hiccup involving Rooney and Ben Haim. That was a potential flashpoint. Carragher did drop a header onto the top of the Israeli crossbar, but it is putting more and more onus on the home games to come in the group at the new Wembley, of course, which has been opened by the under-21s earlier today. Israel and England still level on points in the group after a final scoreline here. Israel 0, England 0.